Welcome everyone to QuackAttack Gaming. This is the first ever Real Pond Talks podcast. Now, if you give me a minute before we start, I want to make sure everything's set up right as far as music and everything like that. Now, if you give me a minute before we start, I want to make sure everything's set up right as far as music and everything like that. Hey, Reinhardt. Just make sure. I've never done a podcast before, and the thing is, hey, Reinhardt. Because, dude, I want to tell you, I've been beat up mentally the last 3 damn days, and I want to tell you, screw the glasses right now. I've got shit to get off my chest. So bear with me. I'm not going to go ranty like I did Monday. I don't have the energy. Like I said, I've been beat up mentally the last 3 days online, and it's, well, that and in real life, it's just to a point where I've got to get, but like I said, for everyone that welcome again to QuackAttack Gaming. I'm Andrew, aka Quack, and this is the first of our Pond Talks podcast. I want to do these more often, sometimes with my wife, and once in a while there will be structured topics like tonight. But mainly, it's going to be like covering game news and everything like that. So don't let this be the thing that sours you if it does. These will not happen as much. But anyway, this stream right here is not a hate stream. It will not be a hate stream. Now, it will contain things that irritate. It will contain things that, it's real talk. Real problems, real talk. It's not going to be the most positive stream ever. So, if you're not in for that, I'll see you tomorrow night if you choose to come back. Again, I'm not going to call out anyone by name or any channels by name. I could. I could easily pop up a browser source and just go, here's what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to do so out of respect. I'm not going to dox people. I'm not going to do that out of respect. This stream, and by the way, yes, I'm looking between streams because last night when I decided I was going to do this, I did create a my brain don't want to function tonight. Basically, I made a structured what I'm going to go through and cover. So again, bear with me. I want to cover all these topics. I don't want to miss anything. So I made a layout of everything. So please bear with me. We're going to, by the way, if you got experiences or anything you want to add to the conversation, please put it in the chat because I can't be the only one that goes through this stuff. But it is what it is, and so. But the basics of this is my own experiences. We're going to talk about expectations. We're going to talk about burnout culture, and we're talking about streaming culture. That's what this is about. Real freaking talk. Because I don't see anyone doing it. But here's the thing. Honestly, take what I say with a grain of salt. I know I'm not popular. I have found that out, especially within the last 72 hours. Me, in my opinion, I'm not a very popular person. But that's beside the point. Yes, I only have 200 like 201 followers on Twitch. Not very many on YouTube. And Kick, I got more subs than I actually do followers. It's kind of messed up, but again, it is what it is, and we go from there. The first thing I want to cover is new content creator. What we thought, what was going to happen when we started. I started streaming back 10 years ago, back in 2016. I did it as a hobby to help me out. I had a passion for gaming. People at work at the time was like, dude, you need to start streaming. I started doing YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't getting very many views. I wasn't getting very many views at all, like double digits maybe. But then someone suggested streaming. I started to mess around, and I found out I was able to do it at that time, and I just ran with it. No real preparation, no real nothing. I was like, I maybe spent, I would say, about an hour setting up, and I was off to the races. I was nowhere near prepared. Page was barren. Layout was boring. It was very early streaming setup type of set. But here's where we get into. And by the way, I don't care about that back there. I'm not going to put up my little screens. I don't care. This is not about views. If I get views, great. If not, no big deal. This is about real talk, and that's real life. So, the first thing that when we thought about streaming is networking. We thought, it would be great, we go start streaming, we meet awesome people, those people talk about us, we talk about them, and we could create a community. The community gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and will naturally grow. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's not the way it is anymore. This whole grow together culture is not, it don't work. It just does not work. It's like I said, when I first started streaming, I got picked up by a guy, and he doesn't stream anymore, so I can talk about him. It was named by Llama Pal. I was testing out Mega Man 2. Oh, I have no idea what that means. And maybe Reinhardt, you can fill me in on that shit. Because that's almost sounding insulting. But the whole idea is, when we thought growing together, it was a whole pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. I have 5 friends, and I tell my 5 friends. And those 5 friends tell 5 friends apiece. And it just grows and grows. And that's not the case. That's fair, Reinhardt. Thank you. That's not the case. That is absolutely not the case. This grow together culture is nothing but a load of crap. But we thought that's what it was, It was community building, and yeah. These groups that are on Facebook and Reddit and all these other socials. We thought, we could go to them. ask advice, we can network, we can help each other out, we can show what reality. They're billboard sites. They're billboard sites and they're echo chambers. Discoverability. You would think, hey Chris, discoverability. You would think, these sites, they would want to help small creators get big, because the more bigger creators you have, the more people you have on your site, the more money you make. No. Twitch don't care. Kick don't care. YouTube don't care. If you think any of these big streaming sites care, you're joking yourself. They care about their big creators, but that's about it. And again, for those who are just tuning in, I do have an outline that I am referring to, because I do believe I don't want to miss a point. I do believe this needs to be said. And again, if you want to join in the chat and share your experiences, feel free. I will repeat this again. This is not about followers. This is not about me gaining followers or anything as such. If it happens, it happens. But it's not about that. It's about real talk, real problems, and reality, and everything as such. But, as a new creator, you're like, you know what? If I put out good content, I'll get discovered, and people will come to me. Again, what a load of shit. Yeah, and we'll go into more of that later. And the final thing that we thought when we first started streaming, you know what? If I put in hard work, dedication, consistency, if I put effort into my layout, I put effort into my streams, I do this, I do that, I do X, Y, Z, it's all going to fall in place. Again, what a load of crock of shit. It's the damn truth. You got Reinhardt here. He's an awesome streamer. You got Scion in my chat. He's an awesome streamer. You got Chris Clown 1313. He's an awesome streamer. And none of them get the attention they deserve. So here's the thing. So we just went over what we thought. Each and every one of us, when we first hit that live button, we had high hopes. No, we had high hopes. We had, we were hopeful little boys and girls with a gleam in our eye. And we were so excited when we first hit that live button. And then for like the first month or two, it was awesome. People might come in our chat, and we would, but the honest truth is, after that honeymoon phase, reality sets in. I mean, Reinhardt's got a point. It's like what I said. You can't expect people to come to you. You got to go to them. In the networking, we'll get to that. I have a whole section about my talk about networking and the nightmares that I have had to face because of networking. So, what really spurred on this idea? Because the idea tonight was initially continuing Earthbound Deluxe 3.0. Why did I suddenly change my mind? What really changed my mind to do this instead of Earthbound? Well, here's what happened. Let me see here. I'm just following. Well, before we go there, but let's go out with realities. These are the true realities of what streaming is. Engagement loops. You know, again, people handle their streams differently. You got Ryan Hart doing what he's doing, and he's doing well, and I'm 100% proud for him. You got Scion, who we shout him out. He's got 4 people that shout him out constantly. And you know what? It just don't work out. The engagement loop does not work. Chris, a clown, awesome guy. He does a lot of great current content. But the fact is, life happens, and he just. I feel for the guy. The truth of the matter is, and yes, I am guilty of a lot of these things. But the thing is, we have one of the things that is a major irk with me when I go on these groups, and I will not go on any of these groups anymore. I will actually be removing myself from these groups voluntarily. The one thing people don't understand, and it doesn't matter what site you go to, whether it's called follow for follow or sub for sub or whatever it may be called, it does not work. It is artificial, empty follows and subs. In the last couple of days, I've tried helping people by giving them advice when they. I try to help people out by going, and then I'll go into more detail there. But what I've been doing is, if they've advertised, I've checked them out. If I don't follow, I leave a comment. Why I didn't follow? I thought that would help out. One guy. He had 700 follows on Twitch. 700. I checked him out. He was live. Guess how many views he had? When I checked his stream out, he did not do anything to hold my engagement. Not no talking, no anything. He just... So... That's what follow for follow does. It's an artificial growth. It's an uptick, but no real substance. When you got systems and algorithms that's based on average view time, views, and everything like that, if people are just following you just for an extra number, more than likely, here's the deal. These empty follows, they're not going to watch you. They're not going to do anything with you. They're just going to have you sit in their list. It was just an extra number. Support for support does not work. Just at networking, go back to the networking idea. Just because you go into another person's channel and you support them and talk to them and get to know them, doesn't mean they're going to do the same for you. They're not. That's what it is. The whole idea, building the community is dead. But what's going on here is the toxicity of it all. Everyone wants to think that their streams don't stink. They want to believe what they're doing is right. They want to believe that's because they have a little bit of success. You know what? I found the magic formula. I'm going to stick to it. And the truth is, no. I'll go into it later. We'll skip this part, but personally, I don't mind. I got on my over here about judging people's stream publicly live on stream. I personally don't care if you want to do so. I have all sorts of ways for you to let me know what you actually thought about my stream or my wife's stream. Um, there's chat, there's socials, there's a comment box. You say whatever you want. I worked in prison for 5 years. I've heard every name underneath the book. Recently online, I've heard everything as well, including stuff made up. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I don't want people to pussyfoot around and tell me, well, yeah, well. No, tell me what's wrong and why you don't want to watch me. Tell me what's wrong and tell me what caused you to move on. If you got a comment, shoot it to me. I don't care. I like blunt honesty. I like the fact that when someone says, dude, you fucked up. I want to hear that so I can improve. By not saying a word or pussyfooting around it, you're not actually helping. But that's not the point. The negativity, and here's the thing, I don't consider what I do as negativity. But the fact is, you gotta realize whenever you actually are part of it. The fact is, there are so many trends, there are so many ways, and then the thing is, they're not all good ways. And they're very scummy in many ways. And there's a lot of copycats. But the thing is, you're only hurting everyone by doing so. I'm not gonna. I have done a lot, and the thing is, it's just the fact is, like I said, I tried to help people. I really did. I would say more a third. Third of the people were receptive. A third of the people were thankful. But most of them, I want to tell you, it was almost like I attacked their mother. I criticized their girlfriend or boyfriend in some cases. Pride is a hell of a drug. We are to a point to where we think promote. I'm not against that. You just gotta know where to do it and how to do it tastefully. Spamming your channels all over social media, all over Reddit, is not the way of doing it. You know, that's like going down the highway and you see the same billboard over and over and over again because they want to make sure you know that business is coming. It's the same annoyance. I'll skip over that one. But the biggest thing, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. When it comes to me, whether you like my stuff, whether you like who I am, I care less. I don't care. It will not, I barely sleep as it is, so it's not going to hurt my sleep. The fact is, they're not going to hurt my feelings. But for a lot of people, it does. A lot of these people on here are looking for validation. And we'll get into that later as well because, I got a lot to go over. I want to make sure I hit everything. I don't want this to be a 5-hour stream. And if I go into detail and repeat myself, I'm not going to do so. So we'll go to the next topic. This next is a personal story. It is something that still haunts me to this day. I got a couple OG people in here being Reinhardt and Scion. I don't know if they were around when this particular day happened. I've actually been told by another person that they saw what happened and they were actually worried about me. But the fact is, I've been here before. I have absolutely been here before. I don't like it. And I'm not going to go here. I'm not going to stay here. As I said, I've been, at the very beginning, I've been streaming for about, well, I've at least had my account for 10 years. In that first year, I did stream from 2016 to 2017. Again, I'm not going to go over the whole details. But the thing is, for the most part, it was fun. Absolute fun. I had a group I hung out with. But when the group disbanded, I was left on my own. It's a story that, you gotta be careful what groups you are part of online, because the fact is, just as fast as they're formed, they could disappear. But anyway, beside the point. At the time, no one told me I was doing anything wrong. No one told me I ways to improve. No one told me that my shit stank, or anything like that. So, far as I knew, it wasn't me. And I would stream, and I would stream, and I would stream, and I would stream. I became obsessed with viewers. I became obsessed with followers to the point of jealousy. One night, I'm sitting at the old house that my wife and I rented. I'm in on my computer. I was playing a game. Again, I was obsessing over views. I was obsessing over numbers. I was more actually focused on the numbers than I was the game. Well, long story short, I stopped the gameplay out of anger. I got on a layout, much like this, and I got on a browser source on OBS that was attached to my internet service, and I went to Twitch. When I went to Twitch, I went to the browse, and that's where I actually started to spiral down. I went to category to category to category. I did call out people by name. I did open their streams to show people what the masses were watching. I did criticize the living daylights out of these people live, as they were live. It's not my... It was definitely one of my lower moments of my life. I don't want to relive it, but it still haunts me. After I had enough, and I was completely mentally drained to where I could not feel any feelings anymore, and seething, I stopped the stream early, suddenly, and early. That was the day that I stopped streaming for a long time. It was probably one of my low moments, and I'm not proud of it. The fact is, it wasn't until Clown1313 started talking about streaming and beginning streaming, and he asked me if I ever streamed, and I told him that I had, that I got the itch again. and the rest is history. Yeah, I did stream at work for a period of time on my laptop. Wasn't the greatest quality, but it it was something. It was late night. Um, I had to take a small break because I switched posts, and I had a partner um, at the new post, and still do. And so I couldn't stream to do so. And plus, too, it was a busier post than what I was used to. So I couldn't. So the timing wasn't great. It wasn't really until my wife and I'll own this. I'll make it public. I don't care. My wife and I went to a rent center. We found a computer that we liked. It was inexpensive for renting week to week. And we went down the rabbit hole. And I have not seen the sun since. I have learned quite a bit with my technically 2 prior runs. I learned the importance of presentation. I've learned the importance of, I'm not saying you don't care about your views or you don't care about your engagement, but you learn it comes in time. I've matured quite a bit in these 9 years. It is what it is. Yes, stuff still does get to me, and yes, stuff still bothers me. But, it bothers anyone. Every one of us who streams want to grow. We don't want to remain stagnant. We want to reach bigger audiences, and let's admit it, each and every one of us hope that one day we can make streaming and content creation our full-time job. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone that's a content creator, hobby or not, has that dream. The fact is, that first run, I'm not overall proud of it. I made a fool of myself, and I did what I had to do, or what I felt needed to be done to get views. The biggest thing that I did that I'm definitely not proud of, and I still catch hell from, because he's a great guy, and I know he's just kidding, but he's referring to this. The fact is, for a short period of time, I thought, you know what? I know what would bring in views. A fat man doing Just Dance. So, I bought Just Dance 2017. I got the pass. I got the Connect. I got the capture card. And I was off to the races. Looking back on that, I am completely ashamed, disgusted, and just appalled that the idea even crossed my mind. It is what it is. I'm not proud of it, but it did happen. It's not my intention to be the next locale of the internet, but that's the direction I was heading. I had to stop when I did. After the D-Day stream, and that's what I call it, the D-Day stream, I stepped back. When I turned the stream off, I stepped back, looked at myself, and I go, I can't do this to myself. I absolutely cannot do this to myself. Look at what I've become. And again, it was so hurtful to who I was and how I felt deep down that I nearly didn't stream for 9 years. Again, it happened. I've moved on. It still haunts me, and I've learned from it. So let's talk about some of the problems that we face as new streamers. The first thing I have down, we've already kind of discussed with that story, burnout. I know I don't make the money needed on here to make this my full-time job. But ultimately, it has become a second job for me. With promotion, marketing, making sure everything is taken care of, working right, setting up, whether it's talking points, trying to figure out streams, what to stream, when to stream it, who streams it. Ideas for theme weeks, like this past week, we are taking a detour into Steam to try to open ourselves up to new audiences, because apparently sticking in the retro category is not healthy. We're reaching out. And by the way, Scion, if you did not check the schedule, please be here tomorrow night, or technically tonight because it's midnight here. I am doing Warframe, and I might need your guidance. Not hand-holding, guidance. So, I am starting to try to branch out and open up my mind a little bit. Sunday, Chris, I am doing my Final Fantasy VII Introspect remake. Introspect. You always give me a good argument. You always give me a good debate about the game. If you want to come by, pitch in, I would really like you here on that. So, yeah. Burnout's a real thing. I worked 44 hours a week at my security job. And you know what? I have no problem disclosing all this. Again, I want people to know this is not rehearsed. This is from the heart. Every single word is from the heart. And I'm not afraid to put my private shit online, because you can make fun of me, you can dox me. Well, that I won't dox myself, but you can make fun of me. I don't care. It is what it is. I work 44 hours a week. I make a couple bucks extra minimum wage here in Missouri. Due to the sins of my financial past, my wages are being garnished. They've been garnished since February. It is now May. And I just hit halfway mark of that damn thing. And I'm sure by the time we get that one done, something else is going to come after me, because I was not a very responsible person back then. I'm not saying my wife and I are bad off, because we're really not. Rent's getting paid, utilities getting paid, nothing's getting shut off. Yeah, there'll be some weeks where, we're barely getting by, but we do. We're resourceful people. So when you consider that, and I love my wife to pieces, but pretty much she's the type that I have to set up the stream. I've got to test the games. I got to do all the work. All she wants to do is hit start stream and start playing, hit stop, and be done with it. That's all she wants to do. And you know what? I understand her point. Excuse me. I understand her point, and I understand her thoughts. But the thing is, it puts a heck of a lot of load on me when it comes to this stream. I do a lot of my behind the scenes work at work. Yes, I may not be able to stream, but I can do other things. Make thumbnails, flyers. I can try. We'll get to the networking thing here in a minute. It is what it is, and it's a lot of work behind the scenes. So it's all on my shoulders. But I accepted that whenever I said I was going to do it, because I said if I want to do this again, I want to do it for long term, and I want to do it right. I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm not going to leave no stone unturned. I want to try everything that I can, minus selling my soul, because I've already done so for a Klondike bar. Watch the fine print. I only got a snack size instead of the full piece. But that's beside the point. The thing is, we as creators understand one thing. Here's the truth about streaming. Numbers are important. But the thing is, I don't know if we're obsessing over the right numbers, because apparently more and more people are going to the follow for follow system, and then wonder why they can't get affiliate because they can't get more than 3 people in their stream for X amount of streams. But that's another monster of itself. Yes, when me and my wife stream, yes, I do check on our numbers. Not regularly, but every so often. When I'm at work and my wife is streaming, yes, I check my numbers, check her numbers, and she's been doing real well, to be honest with you. I'm really proud of her. But the thing is to the point is, I don't know if it's, but the thing is, we're really obsessed with stats, and I understand that, but I don't know if we're worried about the right stats or whatnot. But the thing is, it is what it is. If you're small, it is an issue. If you're streaming the crickets, you might as well just turn off the damn stream and play it by yourself, and I guarantee you're going to have a heck of a lot better time, because you don't have to worry about being online or having or anything like that. You can actually just have fun and not worry about these things. But that's beside the point. The one thing that I've noticed, though, that people have turned to get engagement and everything like that is rage bait. Yes, it does happen. I'm not going to name the channel. I know I've talked to Reinhardt about this. I know I've talked to Chris about this. I don't know if I talked to Scion about this channel. But I'm not going to name the channel. If you want to look it up, it's on your own, and I'm not going to tell you who it is. Hey, Paul. There is this individual on YouTube who streams. He is a disabled person. Mentally, he is not, but physically, he is. His whole shtick is he lays on the floor, because he can't really sit very well. He lays on the floor in front of a big screen TV. No real setup for like OBS. No screen capture, no nothing. It's literally just a camera pointed toward him in the TV. And people donate money to harass him. He gets mad. And then people pay more money to harass him. He gets mad more. And he does this for hours per stream. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing is making money. So he don't stop it. Thing is, it works. You go to the just chatting, and you go to the in real lives, and you go to all these things, and people will bite on rage and rage bait. They will. They will. People will. For some odd reason, it's a big thing. It's a big topic. It is a big business for rage bait. I mean, look at when you go to social media and you go to all the channels and you're watching the video and you're just hoping, I hope this is not real. Rage bait. You've already given them what they wanted. You watched the video. But because you were curious with the title and you listened to it, you gave them what you wanted. And if you leave a comment, you even give them more what you wanted because you give them engagement, which puts them better in the algorithm. The next thing, the begging culture. I'll give you another example. I'm not going to go name names. But there's this individual who's 45 years old. He has been on YouTube and Twitch and Kick for a combination of 18 years. His whole kick is the beg. If you actually watch his streams, he begs more than anything he does. It's to the point where he will fake donations because he finally got it fixed where Kick shows up through alerts. But before, if it was YouTube, follow on either, because he got rid of Twitch. If it was a follow, it came up. If it's a super chat, it came up. But kicks and tips did not. Now he fixed the kicks to where it automatically come up. But tips, he still manually plays animations, so you don't know what's real, what's not. We're not done. And I got a bot, and you know what? You take a ban. But he fakes donations to get to try to increase engagement, try to get that hype train going. The begging knows no end, and the thing is, we can even go to TikTok and all them and talk about all the begging streams. All the begging streams. Give me money because I deserve it. Why do you deserve it? Because I'm me. No. I need money. Give me money. Why? Because I need it. Well, apparently you're able to pay a phone bill and an internet bill. I think you can handle some food. It is what it is. Begging culture is absolutely out of control. It is against terms of services on 95% of all platforms. And yet no one does a thing about it because there's too damn many of them. Next one, the fake networking culture. For anyone, now again, Reinhardt found him a good group. Reinhardt found him a sponsor. Again, congratulations, Reinhardt. But the thing is, most groups, again, will come together and disband within moments. It is what it is. And the thing is, most of these groups don't stick around very often. Like, I'm not going to name the group, but for a while there, Twitch was running a special week for this group, bringing in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Nothing but for a house party and IRL, or what they were under, just talking streams. I watched a few. And I actually feel like I lost IQ points. That's just the truth. I'm not sugarcoating it. But for some reason, people ate it up and they donated a buttload of money to them. But that's beside the point. I am going to add something to this later, and it's going to be a major bitch. I don't care, but it needs to be said. Let's see here. The fact is, my stream is mainly a retro stream, and it will always remain a retro stream. Now, once in a while, like I said, this week we're going out of the way to try some new things, to try expand our audience. But next week we're going back to basics. Now we might throw some new streams that did well this week back on the docket for next week, but we are going back to doing a lot of retro. It is our identity. It is where we got started. It's where I got started 10 years ago. And it's where my heart is. So, but the thing is, when it comes all down to it, people are the one thing that I will say that has increased over the years, besides the huge amount of just chatting and IRL streams. And we can thank certain creators for that. And again, I'm not going to name names, but we all know them. The fact is, people chase trends too damn much. They really do. Now, if you're into the new and shiny, that's cool. I have no problems with you. Your new and shiny chase is great. But the thing is, what you got to realize from a marketing perspective and a promotions perspective is what I face in retro all the time, being just a dedicated retro streamer. But I got an advantage because of that. When you're going from game to game to game to game to game to game that are individually categorized, every time you go into a new game, you got to stand out. When you go to a new game and you think, you know what? I want to play this new game. I want to get a lot of attention. I want to get a lot of new followers. I want to get a lot of new engagement because it is a new game. You're kidding yourself. That's the truth. Because of the fact that is kind of scary, Scion. But what I'm saying is, when you go from the stream to stream and you're not sticking to anything, you're not going to have an identity. You're not going to have a brand. Variety streamers, unless you are lucky and you hit it big, is not something you want to attempt early on because you want to establish yourself in that community and you want to gain an audience. That audience is going to want follows you, which gives you a bigger view count, which makes you look better in these new categories and make it to where people want to watch you more because of your already established community. You know, that's me and my retro. You know, every time we stream retro, every single time, we're getting better. We're getting more views. We're getting... the only thing we're not getting is follows and subs or whatever on anything. But that's another story, and I'm not going to go into my own streaming woes and struggles. I'm not going to do that. That's not what this is about. But the thing is, know that we are moving forward, and we are marching forward. It may be at a very slow pace, but we are. The thing is that when it comes to my wife's and I stream, and this is my own feeling, but again, it's maybe that hopeful glimmer in my eye that I still have and will always have. We're 1 to 2 big streams away from breaking that glass ceiling. We got new people coming into the channel. We got new people watching the channel. It's just trying to convert them from viewer to follower. That is where we're at, and that's what we're trying to figure out. But we'll go into this here in a second about why my strategy. Yeah, we'll go into that. Here is a huge issue with me, especially being a small streamer and being at the bottom of the list. The amount of low effort streams. Period. It is absolutely ridiculous, and I want to refresh my webcam because I am working on trying to get a new one that I don't have to constantly do that with. Low effort streams. Apparently, thanks to TikTok, Instagram, and all them, anyone that thinks they got a camera, or they got a computer, or they got a smartphone, all they have to do, we're going to go into that, Scion. You're jumping the shark. We're getting there. Yeah, we're getting there. The fact is, these low effort streams make everyone on the bottom look bad. Period. For every good quality stream, there's at least 15 horrible ones. There are more horrible streams than there are good ones. Now, keyword I said good and horrible, not high view and low view. But what we're focusing on is the low view. Again, I would love to get down and dirty and start slinging mud and open up a browser for Twitch, but I'm not going to do that. But the fact what I'm getting at is I put a lot of work in the stream, and I put a lot of hard work in the production. I am continuing to learn new stuff every day about this OBS program, and I strive each and every day to put on a better stream for people. There are a lot of people that think, oh, I got a PlayStation 5, I got an Xbox, I can stream. And here's the thing. A lot of them should. There's a lot of streams, and like I said, if you want to experiment with this, go to any category, go sort low to high, and look what I'm talking about. I'm not going to judge too many people for no mic, because I understand there are times, but I will say this. I don't like no mic streams because to me it's not genuine. Because it's a lot of play, pause, type, pause, play. There's no reaction. There's no emotion. There's no nothing. Far as we know, we don't know who's behind that keyboard. At least with the voice, we can, match it to something. The rerun channel. If your channel's not popular enough to stand on its own, no one's going to watch your reruns. Casino channels. Really, I'm not talking like the slots. I'm talking about, I'm not going to name names, but there's one in the retro category that runs Mugen all day. And supposedly it has 200 views constantly. And you can bet who wins, who loses. But you got to sub to them to chat, which is kind of funny. Um, their chat is slow as molasses. But the thing is, the best way for me to put it is bad apples do run the bunch. One bad apple creates multiple bad apples, and that does ruin the entire view people have on small streamers. One of the big things that I've been judged here lately is my use of AI. Yes, I do use it. I have no shame in using it. If and when I get on my feet when it comes to streaming, I will pay someone real money to make real custom art for me. But right now, that's not in the clouds. I've been burnt by online artists where this guy got a hold of me. He showed me his work. I liked it. He offered me a price for some work that I wanted done. I paid it to him. He gave me the results. And it was AI slop. Absolutely AI slop. It's the truth. 95% of all online artists use AI. Most of them do. They just don't tell you. So what they'll do is they'll charge you $100 for what the guy charged me $100 for was a banner and a logo. That was it. And he wanted over $100 for it. You don't want another price. If I wanted a full set, like Be Right Back card, an ending card, a beginning card, layout, one layout, emotes, alerts, panels, you don't want to know the price. We're talking about $500, $600, $700. But I'm glad I ditched him for what he did because, I was going to give him, and if I really did like the work and I was going to continue to work with him and give him payments to get more. But the fact is, I paid $100 for AI slop when I could pay $20 to ChatGPT. Everything is made on the shelf. This, and I'll go through them. I don't know which one of them's got. I don't know which one of them have cameras and which don't. So if I go quiet, please bear with me. All of them were made through ChatGPT. My flyer I make every week for our channel, AI made. 9 thumbnails a week, at least 9 thumbnails a week, made by AI. If there were now the emotes I worked on myself. There are a lot of things that I have on here that are stream elements. A lot of them are Streamlabs, images that I searched. But the thing is, yes, I do use AI and I use it liberally. I don't use it for ideas. All the ideas come from me. The direction I give to ChatGPT is mine. I just don't say make something and take the first result. I'm heavily involved in the process. But when you consider me being a small streamer who can't even get a decent webcam that keeps track of everything right, $700 is a lot of damn money. And the thing is, if I was continuing to pay the person for flyers and thumbnails every week, yeah, I'd be paying this guy's salary. Now, once If and once I get established, yes, I'm going to replace the whole works with custom art from someone that I vet deeply. But until then, welcome to AI slop hell, and I don't care unless you want to pay the bills. Next one. It's the constant pressure to perform. The guy that I was telling you that had 700 follows but only 2 people in his chat, he asked me, how do I work on it? And you know what, since he took what I said right, with stride, I told him, I go, my biggest advice to you, and this is something I still work on and my wife still works on, is to talk constantly. These counters, and I'm not looked at my counters right now, and I don't care about my counters. Again, like I said, it's not about that. The fact is, you need to treat every moment, the moment you hit start, as showtime. These counters are not accurate. They are not accurate with the number of times people pop in and pop out of your stream. They are not accurate because if you don't chat for a while, it will go down. Because as far as I understand, it only tracks active users. The fact that you don't know what you have at any given point. Like the other night when my wife was streaming Fairy Tales, it said that in total she had, I think it was like 12, 13 unique views. The thing is, we don't know where they were. We know some of those were the regulars, but we don't know who they were. They didn't say anything in the chat. They came in and left. We don't know. So it's not like we can, you don't know those things because they never showed up on the counter. But the thing is, you got to be yourself. You can't force conversation. And, goofy stuff still, like when I play Earthbound, I notice myself being goofier and goofier. And I love it. It's who I am. So if someone come in at the wrong moment, it is what it is. But here's the thing. The next one I say here, the only online creator mentality. Thanks to the phones, we have access to our camera 24/7. We no longer have to be at a computer to stream. We can stream anywhere and everywhere. But the thing is, here's the truth. You always got to act online because the fact is you don't know who's watching, what cameras are around. Exactly, Sion. The fact is, we don't know when we're being watched. Thanks to these damn Google glasses, we don't know when people are recording us. We don't know. We don't know security cams, or we don't know anything. So if you're an online creator, you gotta watch yourself because, especially with cancellation culture as it is, you don't know when and where you're being watched. I'm sorry. I know that I do apologize, folks. The next one is a very big one to me because we've already touched on this a little bit. The ability to create a community right now is nearly impossible. It used to be, like when I first started, I made a friend named Llama Pal. And he introduced me to his friends. And there was like 8, 9 of them. And they all follow me. And we all supported each other. If one wasn't streaming, they popped in my channel. If they wasn't streaming, if I wasn't streaming, I popped in their channel. We supported each other. There was a stronger sense of community. Not anymore. Not anymore. Everyone is worried about themselves, and only their channel. I'm not going to name his name. He's a great guy. He's a great retro streamer. I've invited him to the channel several times so he could check out Earthbound Deluxe before he'd see if it was something he was interested in, because he loved Earthbound just like me. And you know what? He's just too busy. He streams just as much as I do, if not more. So, and the thing is, right now, consistency is the name of the game. It really is, and it's the truth. You cannot stream and watch someone else stream at the same time. It is impossible. And be able to put on a quality stream. You just can't do it. In order for, and again, it's a lot of fucking work. So literally, it's a lot of work, and sometimes they don't pan out to be anything. Because I'm not just going to go into his channel, post a promotion, and leave. That'd be absolute rude. I'm not going to do this to this man. Well, yeah, right. If you're actually working together, and it is what it is, but you just don't do it. I mean, like I said, I have too much respect for this man to push that on his channel. And you should have absolute respect for every other streamer, unless they ask not to do that in their channel. So it's impossible. And like I said, yeah, it's great to have a community, but if you got 15 people in the community that you're in, and 14 of them stream at the same time, how can you support each other at the same time? All 14 people at the same time. If you're the one person who's free, how do you pick who to watch? Unless you got 14 tabs open at the same time. But the big thing, and you go, why does any of this matter to you? Why? It's not hurting you. It does. It hurts each and every one of us. All these actions that we have talked about, whether it's the burnout culture, the crash out people wanting to watch them, the begging, the fake networking, all that, it hurts each and every one of us, especially as small creators. We get preyed upon. We get forgotten. And we are just ignored because we're at the bottom of the damn list. There are a lot of great streamers at the bottom of these lists. I don't want to know where I'm at the list on just chatting. I don't want to know. And I don't care. Again, I've already said at the top of the hour, this is not about views. It's about me getting this shit off my chest. And if it can help find someone and help them, that's my mission. Because the thing is, as streamers, it almost feels like we're battling uphill constantly by ourselves. We are the only ones that care about our channels. We are the only ones doing the work on our channels. An example is, every week I make a flyer about what we're streaming, a theme, when we're streaming it. If we have a guest, I put the guest on there. You know what? I'm going to do this, and I really shouldn't. Give me a sec here. I'm just going to... No. Give me a sec here, folks. Where is it at? Or do I even have it downloaded? If not, I could get it real damn fast. Is it this one? Oh, this one would work. This one will absolutely work. Let me size this down. This is the schedule that I fought ChatGPT to make for not this week, the week before. Everything's in detail. Oh, Paul, we're just touching the tip of the iceberg tonight. We'll see how much longer I can rant. But this is what I put a lot of work into designing. The fact is, the details, the theming, they were on my idea, and I programmed it that way. And it lists everything from times, who's streaming, and everything like that. The thing is, no one cares. No one really cares. But anyway, beside the point, and I will... The thing is, I post that schedule on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram every week. The one thing I do ask of my friends, and particularly my friends list, because I have started to post it publicly. Not in groups anymore, but we're going to touch on that. But I will post it publicly. The only thing I ask my friends, and the only thing I ask people, I go, if you're interested, come watch. Here's the channel names. I make it easy for everyone. I put the links at the top. I have the channel names at the bottom. I used to have QR codes on it before it became too crowded. The only thing I put in them, I put in that post outside of, this is what we're streaming. I'm really excited for it. I go, if you want, please come join us. But if you're not planning on joining or don't want to join, please support me and my wife by sharing it on your socials. Guess what? I might get 1, 2 people to share it, but a very great majority of my friends don't. They don't care. They ignore it. And I'm sure they're tired of hearing about it. The fact is, it is what it is. This all hurts every one of us, especially small streamers. Because it's almost to the point where we got to bring our own audience, especially if we do variety content. I've noticed that this week in the few days that we have streamed in different categories, whether it's Sunday, we did Final Fantasy X, then my wife did Fairy Tale, and those streams went pretty decent. But after having to start late because Dead Rising 2 wasn't going to work because it wasn't going to acknowledge an Xbox One controller. It was acknowledged at 360, but not an Xbox One controller. And that day I actually did start early, troubleshooting to make sure everything would run right, and I still was late. We pivoted to Batman Arkham City with Monty. And, and yes, there was a little bit of drama. Reinhardt walked into a load of shit, and I do apologize for that. And then my wife did Bloodstained and Monday night on the late night. Oh, you have no idea, Reinhardt. You absolutely have no idea. Uh, all I can say is, you think your to-do list is bad? Yeah. Yeah, mine's, if I was to lay out all the games I want to do on my to-do list, it would reach from Missouri, where I'm at, go all the way west to California, wrap around, go all the way to the East Coast, and wrap around back to Missouri, and I would still have a roll. I'm full of ideas. But I'm not trying to have a pissing contest with you, Cyan. You know I'm just giving you hell. The thing is, all these things do affect us. When we have bad apples in a group, or we have bad apples in an area, it affects each and every one of us. People assume that if we're at the bottom of the list, we must be a bad streamer. I had a guy come into my wife's and I channel, and this is before we really was paranoid about the camera issue. He had followed me whenever I did it overnights at my old post, but he came back and was a complete asshole. He was the first person I actually had to ban for being an asshole. His exact words to us before I banned him. Well, he's like, your camera's still lagging behind. No wonder you guys are at the bottom of the list. You guys are losers. Yeah, it happened, and I banned his goddamn ass. The fact is, when you're a Twitch streamer, it's a real rarity if someone tries to uplift you. And even then, it depends on who uplifts you. The best way for me to put it, and I'm going to be honest, this is the blunt, honest truth. For everyone who supports me, whether your name is Sion, Paul, Chris, Reinhardt, whether your name is VideoFam, Gaming Trucker, Groot, whether your name is Vegas Glaive, and other people. You guys are all awesome. You all are my regulars. And you all always have a soft spot in my heart. And my wife's heart. You guys are absolutely amazing. You guys are the cornerstones of this channel. But, and I do not mean offense, and I understand when I say that it's going to come off as offense. Unless your names are like Asmongold, unless your names are Moist Critical, unless your names are Angry Peanut or any of them, and I only use their names to make a point. I'm not bashing them. I'm not talking about the content. I'm using the fact that these guys are popular. Unless one of these people hold out their hand to help you up, they're going nowhere. Like Sion hit it earlier, and it is a true statement. He gets shout out 4 times by 4 different people. You would think if he's getting shouted out like that, he would have more people. But the problem is when you have a small person shouting out a small person, it don't go far. It just don't. I can shout out Reinhardt and Chris and all these great people and tell you, go watch these people. But unless someone's new in here and don't follow them already, it don't matter. It just don't matter. It's the cold hard truth of reality. Again, I value you guys very much, and you guys are awesome. I love watching Scion stream the free-to-play games. What I have seen are very interesting games that I never thought I would have given an eye to because they were free-to-play. Reinhardt has opened my eyes to Kick, and that's awesome. I used to work with Paul and Chris. He's a hell of a good streamer. And again, there are games that I would have never given a chance or even looked at because of him. You guys are all awesome. But the thing is, you guys can help. We can all help each other try to get big. We help each other improve. But the thing is, you need bigger people to reach out, and you need bigger people in a community to grow. Because of the fact, it is what it is. It's the cold hard truth. When you're a low streamer, a small streamer, and you're at the bottom of the list, no one cares. It's the cold hard truth, because no one's going to want to scroll down that far to find your stream. If they do, God bless you. You're awesome. Like tonight, we're talking about a lot of real issues that need to be heard by a lot of people. But I'm at the bottom of the list. This is my first time in just streaming. I do not have an identity in this category. I do not have a presence in this category. Now, concerning the fact I think Chris is still here. I know Paul's in here. Scion, you're in here. And Reinhardt, I hope you're still in Kick. You guys are keeping me off the bottom of the bottom. But the thing is, no one's going to scroll down that far to find my stream. And I keep my tags consistent all the time because I used to change them all the time for, going from game to game to game to game. But you know what? I do it right. I keep it regular now because I want that constant tag. The truth of the matter of it all, and I that's one thing I gotta say. I say that a lot, and I do apologize. Unless it's sort of like Scion hinted, lightning's got to strike. You got to grow. When it comes to streaming, it is literally like, how can I put it? I'm trying to think of a colorful way to put it. It's like, do you remember those old pills, water pills that wasn't medicine, they were kids' toys? You remember those? That when you put it in water, it started off real small, and you could put a drop on it. It would still stay small. But it's not until you immerse it in water that all of a sudden, and you get a dinosaur or an animal sponge creature. That's what small streaming's like. You're like that pill. Yeah, you might get a droplet of water now and again, but until you're thrown into the water, you're going nowhere. And the thing is, when it comes to growing, it's going to be instant. And it's not going to be, and if you keep at it, it will not stop. It is what it is, and that's what it's a real problem, especially when you got sites like Twitch and all them, and their low discoverability. So, before I go into story time of what caused this stream to happen, and yes, there was something that happened in the last 48 hours that spurred this stream and to change from Earthbound to this. I am a dirty smoker. I will admit it. I do smoke cigarettes, not weed. Again, no docking, no dissing those who do smoke weed. I'm gonna go smoke. Give me about 5 minutes. If you want to still talk, I will have my phone on me. We can keep this conversation going through text. I do want to keep this going. Let me see here. First time, actually, I got more people in here than I thought. And you know what? Since I'm talking about me being obsessed with numbers, let's just see what we got. Holy hell! I'm actually doing halfway decent for my first just chatting stream. So, I'm not gonna complain. So, give me about 5-6 minutes. Go catch a nicotine high. I will be right back, and we will get to the second half of this stream. Shall return.
Here we go. So they're finally here, performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here. He's a hard star, so listen up, dude. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb up trees. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool Kong. Donkey Kong. He has no style. He has no grace. This Kong has a funny face. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you. Inflate himself just like a balloon. This crazy Kong just digs his tune. DK, Donkey Kong. DK, Donkey Kong is here. He's back again and about time too. And this time, he's in the mood. He can fly real high with his jetpack on. With his pistols out, he's one tough Kong. He'll make you smile when he plays his tune. But gremlins beware, cause he's after you. DK, Donkey Kong. Finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew. This Kong's so strong, it isn't funny. Can make a gremlin cry out for mommy. Can pick up a boulder with relative ease. Makes crushing rocks seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this Kong's one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge. Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts.
Now, I will say, as an update, I have figured out how to do playlists, and I will be updating the playlist at least on my welcome screen and my Be Right Back screen to include more songs. So, DK Rap, as much as I love it, there will be more than that on the Be Right Back screen. But anyway, let's continue. What caused this stream to change from Earthbound Deluxe 3.0, which I still love and I will still gush over, to my first official podcast? Why do I not care about that? Why do I not care? Because the fact of the matter is this. 2 nights ago, I decided to I got bored at work. I had nothing to work on with the stream. And I decided to go on some of these groups on Facebook. Here's the thing. As I told, if you weren't here when I said it before, what I did is when I go to these billboard groups, and that's exactly what they are, billboard groups, to where people go, put them small little blurbs, sometimes they don't. They put a link to their channel. They go, follow for follow, or follow me, or check me out. This is what I do, what, put a picture, yada, 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 post, forget, and they move on. So I was looking to network. I was doing what I thought was a good thing. And I checked out quite a few of these channels. And I want to tell you, you'd be imagined what people are trying to pass off as channels. Sometimes they're well put together. Like, I'm not saying mine's the best put together in the world, but I put a lot of effort to make it look good. Banners, channel icon, the About Me section, you got your comment box, your game suggestion box, about who my wife are, what we play, our socials, everything. It took a lot of work to do that, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to make a good impression in case if someone checks out my channel when I advertise. If I'm offline, it looks good. I'm going to tell you, the amount of slop that I have found is absolute. It is ridiculous. No About Me's, no schedule. Banners are really plain and really bland. I really don't judge on channel icons too much. Content, you get people going, well, I stream Warzone. I don't understand why I don't get views on Warzone, or I don't understand why I don't get views on Call of Duty, or I don't get fans on followers on this. I don't understand why I get views on that. We've touched on all that tonight. It's because it's because you're in a category that's heavily saturated, because these are easy games, and this is something that you face, Sion, on a constant basis, and I do not envy you. There's a lot of people that do these free-to-play games because they don't want to pay for games. They want the easy way out. And I'm not saying you don't. But you're sticking with them, and that's what I'm saying. You're better than a lot of them. The thing is, when it comes down to it, there's reasons that these small channels stay small. Sometimes it's known, sometimes it's unknown. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. I had a gal on Reddit one night. I was complaining about not understanding what I was doing wrong, what me and my wife were not doing wrong. We were doing wrong, and I asked for blunt honesty. And you know what? I got it. She checked my channel out. She gave us suggestions. That's the reason why most of the time you're going to see their their clothes racks with a drape and a shower curtain behind us to hide behind me, so we can hide the mess. There's things that we have stopped doing, because apparently that was annoying her. But right now, the biggest thing is I can't even get people to look at my channel because I use AI. You know what? This is my one time and one time only I'm going to do this to those people. So, anyway, beside the point. So I'm going through these channels. And I'm the type of person that, you know what? I would love people if they don't want to follow, they don't want to watch, they don't want, or they don't want to, or anything like that, you know, to tell me why. Tell me why you don't want to follow. Tell me why you don't want to watch. So that way we can improve our channel. We are really open to open criticism, you know. We know we're not the best channel in the world, but if we don't know what we're doing wrong, we don't know what to fix. We don't like living in an echo chamber. We want to improve. And unless we know what we're doing wrong, we don't know what to improve. So I treat everyone the same, and I did that for people. In this one group, I don't even remember the name of it, and they can kiss my goddamn ass. It popped on my feed quite a bit, and I started doing what I do best. I remember one where this gal goes, "Look at my revenue for 8 days. She made $110. Good for her." And it showed how many subs that she was getting. It was showing how much, you know, her traffic, but it also showed how many hours she had streamed. Before I tell you how much, let me preface this. Yes, I am proud for her because she is able to make more money than I am. Because right now, outside of Reinhardt, and bless his soul, I have not made a penny. Well, maybe Chris, you know, he's a follow. He is, you know, he is subbed on my Twitch, and maybe he's gifted a sub or two. But I've not made a dime. But that's okay with me. But here's the thing. I went on there and I go, "Congratulations. You've made this money. But was it worth it?" She has, in order to get over around $110, she streamed 72 hours in 8 days, from May 1st to May 8th. I was real with her. I didn't sugarcoat it. And I just go like, I hope this is supplemental money, because if you're trying to be like, she's like, "Well, didn't you read my post?" I go, "Yeah, you're saying growth is growth. But the fact is it took you 72 hours to get that much. That's a lot of hours. If they would have worked a minimum wage job, where I'm at in Missouri, minimum wage is $15 an hour. If she would have worked a minimum wage job for $15 an hour for 72 hours in a week, that's a lot of damn money. Because that's overtime. You know, that's an average of about about 9 hours a day. That's a lot of fucking money if they would have put that effort into a real job. And if they're doing it for a hobby, that's awesome. And you know what? I can't argue. But I told her, I go, "Is it worth it? It took you so much effort to make that money, and on average you made $1.50. I just hope that's supplemental money." Yes, did it come off as an ass? Yeah, but it was being real. I don't like sugarcoating things. I don't beat around the bush. I get to the point and I get real. I here recently, I've already told Chris this. Here recently, I've adopted a new mantra. Of course, God's number one. I am a Catholic, but that's neither here nor there. But I've adopted a mantra of truth, reality, and accountability. It's like this garnishment I've talked about. Yes. Am I pissed off that I'm being garnished? You know what? In all honesty, I am, because of the way the company went about doing it. But I did take the money out. I did not pay it back. And I did owe it. I'm paying for the mistakes of what I did years ago. It is no one's fault but my own that I'm being garnished. I am not a victim. I am not someone to pity. I made the mistake. I need to lay in the bed. I like it when people are blunt with me. I don't like people pussyfooting around with me either. It's what it is. And the thing is, the other thing, like there was this one gal who, she posted up, she's like, I play Far Cry 5, I do everything from Far Cry 5 to, I can't remember what, it was Wizard 101. Really, Wizard 101, you're a grown-ass adult and you're playing Wizard 101. But she goes, I'm a chaotic streamer. I'm a chaotic streamer. And she says, I play Outlast. I'm a chaotic streamer. I'm going to tell you, that's my new, outside follow for follow, that's my new trigger, chaotic. Because people don't know the meaning of being a chaotic streamer. They don't know chaotic games. Well, if I play, but I don't have to follow the lines. I know, here's the thing. When you play these types of games, they are meant to be played a certain way. And the fact is, a lot of these games will not let you advance and fuck around like Grand Theft Auto. But that's beside the point. The truth is, these people took offense to what I said. They reported me to the admin. Well, this one gal, and her and another guy decided that they were going to gang up on me on one of the posts. They brought up my wife. They said that they would support my wife. They felt sorry for my wife. They would support my wife, but since we share a channel, they wouldn't do it. Because I'm such an asshole. I was going to reply back, just stand up for my wife. And then I realized I couldn't comment. I scratched my head. I thought about it. So I go to the group's page. It informed me that I had been muted till June 8th. It is June 14th right now. So they muted me for quite a while. So I got a hold of the admin and I'm like, look, I'm being honest with these folk. And I'm going to be honest with you. Your group, your mission for this group was to help streamers grow. But you've done nothing but become a billboard site. I haven't seen an actual discussion on your site about growing in a really long time. I would want people to do this to me. I'm trying to offer them feedback. The fact is, if they're advertising and they're promoting and they're in a group or in a public, they put their stuff in a public forum, they should be open to criticism. And I will make this one statement right now. If you post online anywhere, and I don't care what, I don't care if it's pictures of you getting readies, promotions, pictures of you thinking you look cute, or anything as such, and you make it public, you can't handle honest criticism, and you can't handle people not being able to handle trolls. Here's the truth. Don't post. Create your own group and post there where you can control who watches it, or post to friends only. Because here's the thing. Not everyone's going to be stoked on what you have to say. Not everyone's going to be stoked about what you're doing. I'm not going to go into details, but all I'm going to say is be prepared for everything. Be prepared. And, I talked to my father-in-law, and he's 100% right. And we kind of covered it earlier. The people are posting these things, and they're seeking validation. They want the echo chambers. They want all the praise, but none of the criticism. And let's go back to this. So I basically told him, I go, look, I don't care if you unmute me. I don't care if you ban me. I don't care. I go, if this is what your group is turning into, I want no part of it. I go, I'm trying to help people. And you know what? I did help people. But because a few people decided that they were going to get butthurt because I criticized their comment, they got back with me yesterday morning and told me, you know what? You're a horrible individual. You got a problem with women. And not only that, we're not only going to keep you muted, we're just going to bang you straight out. You are trying to destroy our community, and we don't want you. What community did I try to destroy? I tried to uplift it. Now they go, well, you did it unsolicitedly. Here's the deal. You post something online, you don't need permission for the poster to make a comment. You don't. And if you are posting something publicly, you are opening yourself up to criticism. Period. It is what it is. If you stream, like right now, I'm streaming. I am bitching, moaning, groaning, complaining, supposedly. All right, Scion, you take care. Bitching, moaning, groaning, and complaining. And yet, to what a lot of people might think, but the fact is I'm actually talking about real stuff. And like I said, I'm to the point where I want honest criticism. I am not afraid for people to do what I do to them, to me. And I did do that in several groups. I posted a schedule. I said, since I'm doing this to other people, grill me. And the only thing I've gotten back is AI. Nothing about our content, nothing about our game selection, nothing about anything but AI. Here's the thing. And let me make sure I'm covering everything. Yeah, I've covered all of it, but the fact is, we need the criticism. If you're posting saying you want views, then you want people to go to your channel. And if people aren't going to go to your channel, wouldn't you want to know why? I know I do. So, but apparently, monkey see is not what monkey do. And again, pride is a hell of a drug. I had one guy go, well, I get 15 to 25 follows a day. Well, here's the blunt truth. And this is my one hateful comment for the night. If you are a woman and you are good looking, you can be shoveling shit and you still get subs. Period. That is 100% truth. And I will make one more statement about this because, frankly honest, it's not my fault that women are the are the ones who are doing this. And, you know, I'll make one more statement after that. No, I'll wait for the pet peeves on that. If you're a woman and you can't handle criticism and you think your shit don't stink, log off and never log back on. Because the fact is, you're full of shit. If you're advertising your channel, you want more views, and you think your channel is not the problem, again, I'll repeat what I've said before. There's a reason why small streamers stay small. We are not victims of a conspiracy. So, next section here are my pet peeves. And this will be my bitchy and ranty part. Take what you will, but I'm just making a point for all these. What pushes me away from streamers? Well, very simply. Game choice. Big one. The effort you put in your channel and how you present it. If I go to a channel and their offline page is absolute bare, if their offline page is absolutely a mess, excuse me, I'm going to assume that the streamer's lazy as shit. Yeah, if I go to, and I've actually run across this, if I go to a page and they've got less than 100 views and 100 followers, and I've seen shit like personal, will you buy this for me lists, big donation boxes, or multiple places to donate. If I see, what else? There was something else that I had on my mind, but the fact is, there is a rate which you go. Oh, merch. That's the other one. Merch. If you got less than 100 people, merch and selling merchandise for your channel should be the last thing you should be thinking about. That is something you think about down the line, not at less than 100 viewers, 100 followers. Game choices. I don't like Call of Duty. I will not watch Call of Duty, not any form of Call of Duty, especially multiplayer Call of Duty. I will not watch Fortnite. I might watch an occasional Minecraft, but it has to be special. I will not watch Dead by Daylight or any real multiplayer game. I believe the streamer should build the channel. I do not believe the channel should build the streamer. And that's what these social games do. If you gotta rely, if you gotta rely on others to make your stream entertaining, I don't want to watch you. Period. Because there are too many channels that are being streamed right now under Call of Duty of people playing multiplayer with randos. And they are some of the most boring shit that you'll watch. You know, games matter. You know, I do have, again, if Call of Duty streams are what you like, go for it. But it's not my cup of tea. And one thing I will touch, and this is a personal one, this is my opinion, and my opinion only. I don't like VTubers. I don't mind an image, like Scion's mentioned. I don't mind an image, but if it moves, if it talks, I don't want it. I don't care. I don't mind mic-only channels because you know what? If you're that afraid to show your face, that's fine. I have all the respects in the world for that, especially in today's privacy. But if you really feel that you need to be represented on your stream, have the balls and have the guts to show your face. The thing is, there are so many different VTuber models, and they do not match the voice. I'm not going to go into politics, but I'm just going to say this bluntly. Every time I see a female VTuber model, and I go to it, and I click it, and I watch, and a man's voice comes from it, instant turn off. If I go to a channel, and I see a little girl VTuber model, and I hear a grown-ass woman's voice from it, it's a turn off. The truth is, reality is reality, and you are who you are. Yes, I got my duck. I am a big duck fan, but you don't see me with a duck VTuber model. Yes, I would love to be thin. Yes, I would like to look better than what I am now. But those are not the cards that are being dealt to me. But you don't see me posting a VTuber model of a big muscular man with no shirt on, flexing all the time on my channel. Because that's not who I am. We live in the age of feelings, not the age of science anymore. But they feel that this is what they look like. Does it feel what they... No. You are who you are. And if you want to represent yourself with an image, have the balls to show your face. To me, VTubing is nothing than a gimmick. And I understand it does help create a brand. But the fact is, it don't show who you really are. By hiding behind a VTuber model, and I will preface this again, it is my opinion, you are a coward. Let's see here. And it's sort of like what I just said. Sort of like what my next point was. I want an authentic person. I think we are too fake as a society. We need to be who we are. The fact is, we pretend way too much being someone that we're not. Because we want to be liked. Because we want to be popular. And that's the truth. There are a lot of horrible, horrible, horrible individuals in this world that behind closed doors, it is what it is. But if you was to go out in public, they are the nicest, and they are the most happiest, and they are the most talkative and social people. But it is. That's not who they are. in reality. I love authentic streamers and and then they go forced positivity. We talked about that earlier when I talked about the situation. If someone was to come in here right now in the middle of my goddamn rant and tell me to shut up, quit whining, I'd take that. I wouldn't, but I'd take it. I don't need people to blow smoke up my ass to make me feel good. I don't. I do not need an echo chamber. I don't need people constantly reassuring me that I'm a good guy and that I'm doing well and I'm doing good content. I don't need that. I don't need to live in a vortex of my own creation. That is what caused my burnout 9 years ago. I don't want it to happen again, and I will not have it happen again. Having an identity is more important, and being real with people is more important than anything. It's more important than the game. It's more important than what you're doing, because I've learned the game gets you clicks. The titles get you clicks. But it's the personality that keeps them staying. And it's the personality that keeps them coming back. The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how fancy your stream is. It doesn't matter how great your stream is. It doesn't matter, because most people, when they come into your channel, unless they're new and they're trying to figure out whether they want to follow or not, it's you that matters, not the game, not anything else. It is what it is. But people don't realize that. The fact of the matter is, we got to be truthful with each other. And again, if you're a gimmick streamer, fine, do your thing. No, I won't watch you, but do your thing. I don't need gimmicks on my channel to make me feel good or think that I'm moving forward or anything like that. I don't need to be a speedrunner, even though some of those are quite impressive. I don't need to be a speedrunner. I don't need chaos streams. I don't need randomizers. I don't need randomizers. I don't need to spin the wheel. I don't need giveaways. I don't need this. I don't need that. You know what? If I'm going to earn views and I'm going to earn follows, I'm going to do it on my own merits. My wife's going to do it on her own merits. And we're going to do it with the hard work from our backs, not gimmicks. One of the biggest pet peeves to me, and I don't care who hears this, are the damn labels. And particularly the identity labels. I am an equal opportunity hater. That's what I've been told a long time ago. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic. I don't care if you're a man, woman, or whatever you want to call yourself. I don't care if you want to identify the cat, dog, giraffe. I'm going to treat you all the same. I'm not going to treat you differently. This is an all-inclusive stream. But you know what? I'm not going to put LGBTQIA plus elemental P friendly. I'm not going to put safe space. I'm not going to put a wife, a woman. I'm not going to put man. I'm not going to put gay. I'm not going to put straight. I'm not going to put non-binary. I'm not going to put any of these really identifying labels in my stream. And the reason being is when you do that, you're not looking for a community, you're looking for a culture. And you hope by identifying yourself as that culture, you're going to get like-minded people in your stream that you're trying to cater to and pander to. I'm not going to pander to anyone. Not a single damn soul. In my eyes, everyone is equal and everyone deserves not only praise, but everyone deserves criticism. Just because you're not a straight white male doesn't mean you are excluded from criticism. We need to quit this victim mentality, and we need to quit dividing each other into groups and understand we are one people, one mind. We are all equal under God's eyes. And the fact is, we need to stop with the separation. Just because you identify with a certain group, just because you identify with a certain section, does not make you any more special than anyone else. And you deserve the criticisms if you are wrong. There are no excuses for it. You are going to be held accountable for your actions. So what am I going to do, and what am my wife going to do to separate ourselves from all this that we've talked about? Well, one, we're going to be truthful. Two, we're going to live in reality, and we're going to hold people accountable for their actions. I am going to stop, and like I said, as soon as I get off this stream, as of tomorrow, I am removing myself from any and all Twitch groups, Kick groups, on Reddit, and Facebook. I am not going to deal with them no more. I am done with these billboard groups. None of them want to actually help streamers. None of them actually want to do the work to cater and curate a group for that. But instead, they just want people to come post on their website about their channels, forget, and move on. And God dare anyone criticize any of those channels, because we don't want that hate. It's not hate. If it's truth, it's not hate. As far as my public posting, I will every week. I will still make a flyer using ChatGPT. Fuck those AI. Fuck those anti maggots. Again, if you want to pay my bills and you want to pay my fees to make everything every week from a real artist, we'll talk. But until then, I'm living within my means. I will post on my real name. I will use my real name. I'm not afraid to put it there. I am not hiding behind a surname. My name is Andrew. I'm not going to hide behind a username to do this, because as far as I'm concerned, if I got the guts to post this shit and I have the guts to speak up, I have the guts to tell them who I really am. Neither here nor there. Every week I will post up a schedule on my socials, mainly Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Once we solve this whole webcam crap real well, I'm going to do a lot more clips, and I'm going to start. And I will start putting them on YouTube, on Twitch, and Kick, Twitter. I'll put them on TikTok. I got to get in the mode of TikTok to do them more. So that's how I want to move forward. No more begging, no more spamming, no more helping. If I'm going to get I'm tired of the reputations that people want to accuse me of, and I'm not going to handle it. I'm not going to handle it. I'm not going to deal with it, because the fact is, yeah, welcome to the internet. Get a helmet or get the fuck out. I want to start letting this channel grow naturally. Networking with me is dead. Networking has done nothing but bring heartache. It is brought accusations. And I'm done begging. If it happens, it happens. And it's going to be based on our content, not the promotion. Again, I'm going to post it, but I'm not going to push it. I'm not going. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we stepped out of our area to do Steam Week, off to the Steam week. We still got quite a bit left of it to do. You know, tonight, depending on if a guy, my wife's and I friend Rodney comes over, we'll be either doing Doom 2016 for Reinhardt, or if he does come over, we're going to do Disney. A Disney game, and I have one in mind, and it's not Dreamlight Valley. I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Second, next, the one after that, tomorrow night, Scion has advised me to try Warframe. I've never played Warframe, and from what it looks fun as hell. It is a free-to-play, and it is my first free-to-play game, a free-to-play gacha game that I've ever played. We'll see what happens, and we'll see where it goes. Friday, depending if Rodney comes over tomorrow, will be either Doom 2016 for Reinhardt, and it will be done for Reinhardt. Or if Rodney doesn't come over tomorrow and we play Doom, it's going to be Pizza Tower. Again, from last week. That is a fun-ass game. I'm not going to lie. Then it's Saturday. Now, the guy said and the guy did follow me. He said he'd be back in my channel, but he have not come back since he followed. So I don't know how much truth there is to it. But that's beside the point. He is a follower. He did make a request, and I am going to honor it. Saturday night is going to be Ultra Kill. I guess they just had a new update. It looks interesting. It's out of my comfort zone, but you know what? Maybe getting put in a different game like that. Who knows what could happen? Next week, if you got suggestions, put them down below. But if not, it's going to be our choice. I have an idea. There's at least 2 or 3 games that we will be bringing back. Depending on the actual numbers, once I get done on this, I may do another 3-hour podcast next Wednesday night to Thursday morning. May not. So we'll find out once the numbers are in. If not, we'll go back to normal scheduling. We're going to throw in some new games, but we are going to go back to retro. We're going to do that for about a couple weeks. And let me look at a calendar. I'm looking the first week of June. Either the last week of May or first week of June. I'm aiming at the first week of June of doing another themed week. If you got ideas, throw them down below. I thought maybe music game week or a Sega week. I mean, it could be a system, it could be a genre. Free an MMO week, that might be fun. Explore free MMOs, free demos of MMOs. I do have almost 6,000. I know it's nothing to some, but I do got 6,000 hours logged into my World of Warcraft account. I haven't played it in a long time. I need to get back on there, but I've been so busy with this that it's not even funny. But anyway, yeah, I thought that might be a good idea. But the thing is, we want to play games that you guys want, because if you guys aren't entertained, we don't get views. So if you got a suggestion, put it in the box down below, in my suggestion box, or the game selection box, game request box. I put them there for a reason. If you don't want to put them there, my socials are also down below. Send me a message. But it is what it is. So let's see what else we got here. Force lesson promotion groups, posting publicly, moving on, building channel identity. Okay, next one. We are not, and I repeat, will not be doing what we've discussed. No, you'll never see a VTuber model on our channel. No, you're not going to see a gimmick on our channel. Now, you might see a ROMhack, but that's not a gimmick. You're not going to see us spin the wheel, do giveaways quite yet. We're not. I will never do Just Dance ever again in my life, no matter how much money someone gives me. Don't care. I'm not going to be the next locale. But the fact is, we are focused. We're going to take QuackAttack Gaming, me and my wife, and we're going to go as far as we can with it, and until we are just done, tired doing it. We are having fun, and that's all that matters. If the numbers are great, and yes, I still will be watching numbers, because I would like to grow, but that's not going to be my main concern. The fact is, it's like I said, I want to build a community. Me and my wife want to build a community, not you build us. We want to give you guys content that you'd be happy to send to your friends and family. And be like, check this person out. Check this couple out. These guys are real fun. These guys are cool. These guys are... that's the type of content I want. I'm not going to name names, but you're going to know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to act like a complete dumbass behind a peanut VTubing model playing only multiplayer games with a mouth and eyes and wiggles and costumes. I am not going to do that. You're not going to catch me doing IRL stream being a nuisance. You're not going to catch me do... you'll catch maybe a podcast or two, but you're not going to hear me. This is one of the few sections that this is my therapy to me. I mentioned that to Scion. Again, I don't care about views right now. I don't care if I get a follow. I don't care of any of that. This is me venting. This is me giving a state of the stream union. I want you to understand who I am, what I represent, and the struggles that not only I, but other small streamers face. Again, one of the things I know we need to work on, me and my wife need to work on, is sticking to a schedule. Not by that I mean, if we work overnights. Both me and my wife work overnights. I have Wednesday night, Thursday night off. My wife has Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday. We do not stream Tuesday and Wednesday. But that's beside the point. We need to get better at a schedule for not to balance not only real life, but we need to find a schedule to balance the stream. Here in the last, since we've done this for some odd reason, we haven't had hardly an on time stream. Tonight's stream was the first time that we went online early and we're on time. But that's because I didn't have to set up a game and hope to hell that the game worked. I need to make sure that when I go to do a stream, and it is a game, that it works 100%, 100% of the time, and there's no hiccups. I got to make sure that happens from now on before the stream happens. We cannot afford pivots anymore. I mean, if we have to, we have to. But we got to quit with the pivots. If I put on the schedule and people actually look at the schedule and honor the schedule, they come for certain things, they come for certain games. And I need to make sure that that's what they get. That's like being told you're going to get apples, but in reality, you're getting oranges. Yeah, you'll take it, and you might stick around, but maybe not because it's not what you wanted. Also, we are going to start taking care of ourselves more as far as mental health. Both me and my wife both have mental health issues. I doubt my wife will watch this, so I can say what I will about it. I know my wife's got mental health issues that are undiagnosed. Supposedly, I am bipolar, and I do have anxiety disorder. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just stating that's fact. Here lately, I have not been able to afford my medication because it's too darn expensive. And yes, I'm for the most part, I'm okay. I haven't any blow-ups. I haven't had any real flares. But according to my wife, she's afraid that one day I would, with all the stress I've been under here lately. My doctor, will be ex-doctor, basically told me, I went in for some body aches. I left with still body aches, no medicine for the body aches, no reason for the body aches. But I was told that they're going to work on getting me a CPAP machine from sleeping. They're going to give me resources to go see another mental health physician, because that's another doctor I'm getting rid of. That's another topic for another time. So I went in for body aches. I came out with body aches and a bunch of other shit that I did not go in there for. But that's beside the point. The fact is, we need to start taking care of ourselves a little bit more, especially when it comes to streams. That's the reason why from now on schedules we put a start time, but we will not put a finish time, because I know I'm bad about it, and I know my wife's bad about it. And this stream is a special stream, so this stream goes against what I'm about to say. If we are streaming to crickets, and we are streaming to crickets for an extended time. It does not matter how long the stream was, but we're done. We're not going to continue to stream to crickets. Any small streamer knows that feeling, and every small streamer knows it sucks ass. And if you're streaming to crickets, it is hard to talk to yourself for that long to keep things interesting for people coming in to engage. So, and we are going to start taking care of our mental health a little bit. Okay, the music's still going. It's just real low. We are not going to force ourselves to stream for X amount of time. For sake of it. But the fact is, we are going to start taking care of our mental health. And when it does get too much for us, and it does get too bothersome for us, we're just going to shut it down. Again, it doesn't matter if it's an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. When we get to that point, it's shut down time, and we don't care. The biggest thing about this run, because I told you technically I've had two before this, if you really want to count the second one and the first one, because the break between the second and the third run really wasn't that big. We are here for the long term. We are here to have fun. This is our therapy, and we love the people. We are here, and we're here to stay until we choose not to. If we get famous, that'd be great. I know my wife and I would love to quit our jobs to focus on streaming exclusively. We would love that. But any streamer, that's their goal. But you know what? I know that's not realistic. But it is what it is. Our goal is to have a good time. Our goal is to have fun. Our goal is to connect with all sorts of people from every shape, size, and everything like that. It is our goal to meet people from all over the world. I've talked to people from Canada, Jamaica. I've talked to people from all over the States. And I want to tell you, they're all interesting stories. And we love that. My biggest thing is, this is a personal thing. Ever since our GameStop closed, and Chris, if you're still watching, this is for you. Fuck GameStop. I've had nowhere to go to talk shop. I am a big fan of games. I am a huge person for them, and I will defend most of them. I do have some gaming opinions, and that's another video for another time, because I've got some interesting takes. But that's beside the point. The fact is, we're here for the long haul. And the thing is, ever since GameStop closed, we lost both of ours. I've had nowhere to talk shop. And that's one of the big reasons why we're streaming again, so I could talk shop with people. So feel free to get a hold of me. Feel free to chat, and we'll talk shop. So we're getting, according to my little timer up top, we've been streaming for a little over 2.5 hours, which is more than I thought that I could talk at one point in time continuously. So I learned something about myself tonight. Let me look here. A few last reminders for everyone, especially small streamers. Here are some truths, and be aware, and I shouldn't have to remind you of these things, but I do. We do. Your streaming should not take over your life. Your streaming should not take over who you are and what you do. Take care of your mental health. Take care of yourself. That is the first important thing in your life, is to take care of yourself. And if it does get too much, seek help, quit streaming, and I guarantee you you'll feel a lot better. And if you choose to go back, you'll go back with more knowledge, and you'll go back with more experience, to where the next time you go to do a run, you'll be more knowledgeable. Next one, and this is something I got to remind myself too. Numbers don't mean shit in the long run. Don't stress about them. Don't worry about them. Now, yeah, I check mine because I'm curious, but I don't get down in dumps about them like I used to. If we bomb, we bomb. If we do great, that's awesome. You know, when I look at unique views versus the followers and there's a problem with it, I figure it out. I don't stress about it. I figure how we can turn those people from viewers, to subscribe to followers. Here's the big one. Creators on all platforms. That's Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. If it's got a video feature to it, if it's got a social means to it, here's the truth. Everything we've talked about is the silent part that no one wants to face. No one wants to talk about these things because they're uncomfortable. But they are still problems. The only way we're going to fix these problems is by calling them out. The truth is, I'm not saying, and I'm not advocating, and I'm not going to endorse going into streams and bullying people. What I am, though, saying is this. If you see someone on these websites, socials, and they're advertising their channel, check them out. Do what I did. You will open your eyes. The more people that do it, the more people that actually try to offer advice, maybe we'll get through the 6 goals. And if they do actually listen, they are open for suggestion, the better their channels are going to be. And then it's a great. When I did it, when it was good, it was good. But when people started getting angry at me or defensive to me, it was absolute toxic. And at this point, I don't need toxicity in my life, so I'm cutting it out completely. If you see it, call it out. A few things. If you see a horrible VTuber model, call it out. If you see a woman who is a booby streamer and she's trying to pass herself as a gamer, and you notice she sucks at the game, but you notice really what they're trying to do, I'm not saying call it out on stream, but find a way to get on their socials and call it out. Be nice about it, be direct about it, but you be honest about it. You just tell them, I know what you're doing. The truth of the matter is, unless we start calling it out, unless we start saying enough is enough, nothing is going to get changed. Nothing. Excuse me, I've been talking way too long. I find it kind of funny that we have all these top streamers that are absolutely positively hated, but they still get tons of views. They get tons of subscriptions and tips and donations and Patreon follows and this and that and this and that. And you know what? Stop hate watching. Stop hate donating. Stop hate subbing. Stop it. These people thrive off of that. They thrive off of the drama. And if you stop going in and you start giving them money in whatever shape or form, they will change or they will quit. There will be one channel I call out because I do think the guy's an absolute dirtbag, and I don't give a damn. I've been real good trying not to talk shit on certain channels, but this one I will because I think the guy's an uber douchebag in what I'm talking about. Dark Side Phil, I'm watching you. DSP Gaming is one of the trashiest channels you'll ever meet. Watch. The guy sits there, he begs, plays the game horribly. He takes the game, stretches it out as long as he can for content. He pretty much demands $150 a stream, twice a day, 6 days a week, or he rage quits. Wage quits games. People go, the thing is, he's got so many detractors, it's not even funny. And I'm one of them. And I'm just as guilty of this. So, do as I say, not what I do. Yes, I watch Dark Side Phil once in a while just to make myself feel better. But I don't watch it on his main channel. I'll watch it on a detractor channel that streams his live stream live. He fakes tips in order to try to start hype trains. I think today he faked almost $300 to $400. You can tell they're fake. With me, any type of support you give, follow, sub on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, bits on Twitch, a sub or super chat. I don't know if I could get super chats on YouTube as small as I am, but if that feature ever comes available, those would pop up on Kick. All kicks and subs and follows do get an animation as well. And also the big thing, if I get a tip, it shows up above. I don't fake mine. I do not hide mine. They're all real. And I will never, ever, ever fake a donation to try to make myself look good for you guys. So, but he would. He has, he will, and he'll continue to do it. But I'll let you go down the Dark Side Phil rabbit hole like I have, and I want to tell you, you might as well wear a scuba suit because the well's deep. I will say again, I've said it before, I appreciate each and every one of my people that come into my channel. We had Paul in here, we had Chris in here, Cheyenne on Twitch, we had Master Reinhardt on Kick. We got a guy with the screen name of Gaming Trucker, Vegas Glaive, Groot, Video Fam. There's all sorts of great people that have followed my channel, and I will say I am forever grateful for your guys' interactions. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we'd be dead. We'd be dead in the water. Not not to use the pun with the whole pawn theme. Pawn talks from this forward may involve my wife. She would love to introduce herself formally when she's not playing a game. Pawn talks may or may not be a regular thing from the forward. Again, of course, like I said before, I'm going to have to check the numbers to see how well they performed. If they do well, we're going to do pawn talks more often. I promise you, not all pawn talks are going to be this serious and bitchy, moaning, groaning, complaining. Depends on how you look at it. I consider it educational, discussional, and debatable, but that's beside the point. You know, I've tried to provide a interactive experience tonight with the chat and whoever's been in. So, but that's beside the point. Again, I know I have bad habits with certain phrases. I do apologize. The next pawn talk we have is probably going to be with my wife. I don't know when. We might do some reaction content to gaming news. We might do some gaming some reaction to some trailers and give our honest opinion about it. We might just come on and bullshit with you guys. It might be a full podcast episode. It might just be an intro into a game. It depends. Now, once in a great while, I will have a topic-specific pawn talk. It is what it is. I don't know what the next one is. I haven't thought that far. But it will be planned and it will be in the schedule, unlike it was this week. This week was special because I had a lot on my mind and I had to get it off. It is, like I said, it happened. So, we have been streaming for almost 3 hours. Again, I can't believe that I have ranted and raved online for nearly 3 hours. You learn stuff about yourself all the time. So, again, I hope this first Pawn Talks was great for you guys. If it catches on demand, great. If not, no big deal. Again, like I said at the very beginning, and I've said many times throughout this stream, this stream is not about views. This stream is not about follows. This stream is about real problems with real solutions. And if you want to share it with some a struggling streamer to let them know they're not alone, go for it. If you like our stream in general, share the channels. We got Kick, we got YouTube, and we got Twitch. Twitch.com/QuackAttack_gaming. YouTube, YouTube is youtube.com/@gaming_while_married. And Kick, to get my Kick page, I don't understand why they did it this way myself. It's kick.com/QuackAttack-gaming. All my socials are linked below. I do pay attention to them. Suggestions, comments. You got a game you want to have us play? Leave it in the game suggestion box. If you got a suggestion about a title, a topic, something that we could do better, I don't even care if you put in there, we suck. That's what that box is for. Leave it there. Or, again, I got my socials. That's fine. I would love to hear back what you guys thought about this. Overall. But I highly doubt someone's going to watch an entire 3-hour VOD of a fat man, an overweight fat man with a goatee that smokes, bitching and moaning and groaning and complaining about streaming for 3 hours. You see, that's one thing about me you understand. I am real about who I am. I know who I am. I know so does my wife. She knows everything about herself. We do not hide our faults. We do not hide. We not only show you our strength, but we show you our faults. We are real, genuine people, and if you don't want to give us a chance, that is on you. If me using AI art, and this is my last little bit, and I will end it, I promise. If you're offended that I use AI art, again, and understand that we are living within our means, the fact of the matter is, we're doing the best. We want to continue to go forward, and we want to improve. Please let us know. We hope that everyone is well and everyone remains well. Tomorrow, as I said, schedule is to finish up this week's schedule. Tomorrow night depends on if Rodney comes over. If Rodney comes over, it's Disney. If he doesn't, it's Doom. Friday is either Doom or it's Pizza Tower. Tomorrow evening it's going to be Warframe of just me. And finally, to wrap up Saturday, it's going to be Ultra Kill. I'm going to have to talk with my wife. We're going to do some number crunching, and we're going to put together a schedule next week of the greatest hits of the last 3 or 4 weeks, with a few experimental titles here and there. So, with that all being said, you got a suggestion, you know what to do. I'm not going to repeat it. So, the first ever Pawn Talks is officially over. I hope you enjoyed. If you made it this far, you're pretty damn awesome. I highly doubt anyone is here. But again, I really don't care at this point if I'm talking to thin air. It's a special occasion. So, tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, come back for my wife and either I or Rodney. Y'all have yourself a wonderful morning and a wonderful Thursday. And I will see you tomorrow night, hopefully.